You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Live. We're going to talk about Trey Lance and Carson Wentz because it seems Carson Wentz gave some advice to Trey Lance. Both of them played at North Dakota State. As you guys know, I'm a 49ers fan, so I got particular interest in the fact that Trey Lance, I hope he does well. You know, I came out and I said when I did my QB draft ranks, I did not rank Trey Lance, and you might be like, Rhodes, you ranked Justin Fields, you ranked Mac Jones, you ranked Trevor Lawrence, and you ranked Zach Wilson, but you did not rank Trey Lance. That's right, because I don't think Trey Lance is going to beat out Jimmy Garoppolo. And unlike Chris Sims, I'm not going to waste your time ranking a quarterback that I don't believe will be the starter. Okay, my ranks were strictly the guys that I project as starters, okay, whereas he ranked his top 40, which means he ranked some backups. And that's not what this is about, but you get the point. I think Jimmy G's going to win that starting job. And I just don't think that Trey Lance is quite ready. I'm not a hater of Trey Lance, although I've been very vocal about the fact that I think Mac Jones should have been the quarterback taken. And I think we have become enamored, unfortunately, with mobile quarterbacks or quarterbacks that teams project may end up being the next Patrick Mahomes. And I think a lot of teams may end up really burning down their franchises, hoping they're getting the next Patrick Mahomes. It's concerning. It's concerning. Like Justin Fields, I think he's going to be a bust. I think it was a bad idea. I don't know what they were thinking. There are some people, and this is even carried over into fandoms. Fandoms think you got to have the next Lamar Jackson when you look at the fact that Lamar Jackson has won one playoff game. Yeah, he won an MVP. Yeah, he looked great in the regular season, but in the playoffs, it's still been about pocket quarterback play for the most part. And Patrick Mahomes is not a running quarterback. People don't realize. I mean, he's a scrambling quarterback. He's a guy that eludes and gets away and has the ability to scamper for 7 or 8 yards and pick up a first down, but they're not running straight up running plays like teams did for Colin Kaepernick and for Michael Vick and for Lamar Jackson. Okay, there is a difference between a scrambling quarterback or an elusive quarterback and an actual running quarterback. Okay, Cam Newton is a running quarterback. Okay, and look, he hadn't won anything. I know he made a Super Bowl and he won a MVP that I still don't think he should have won. Anybody that has a 58% completion percentage, in my opinion, should not be winning MVP awards. Okay? So, anyway, let's get to this article. Carson Wentz got together at Carson Wentz's charity softball event. Trey Lance returned to his college town this week for the first time as an NFL player. Lance came back to the area to take part in Carson Wentz's charity softball game, which benefits AO1 Foundation. Lance, who did not play in the game, was among the most popular people to attend, I can imagine. It's cool, Lance said. I joke around that I'd much rather have people like me than not like me. It's so really cool to get back to Fargo. The support is second to none. Lance said the coolest part is seeing little kids wearing his number 5 jersey, the same number he was issued as the number 3 overall pick for the 49ers. Lance is part of an impressive North Dakota State lineage, and they keep producing quarterbacks up there. Not bad for an FCS. Easton Stick came out of there, Wentz, and now Lance. After appearing in one game in the fall 2020 shortened season, by the way, he did not perform very well in that game. The 49ers traded up from 12 to number 3 to select Lance. That was also another issue for me as a Niners fan. The 49ers offseason program wrapped nearly 3 weeks ago, but Lance said he has continued to work out with some of his new teammates, Deebo Samuel and Mohamed Sanu. I like hearing that. I think it's great to hear. It's good work ethic, and I don't think anybody has questioned this kid's work ethic. It's been awesome, Lance said. Those guys are a special group of guys, and I feel very fortunate to be where I am. Those are special guys, so it's hard to not to build chemistry, I guess is what he's trying to say. Lance will report for his first training camp in Santa Clara beginning in late July. He will compete with presumptive starter Jimmy Garoppolo. Like I said, I think Jimmy's going to win that job. I love the Bay Area, Lance said. I haven't got to explore a whole lot. As far as the organization in football goes, it's been great. North Dakota State must be doing something right to produce 3 straight NFL quarterbacks. Lance says he owes a lot to those who came before him, beginning with Wentz, who was playing at an MVP level in just his second season in the NFL before sustaining a knee injury. Playing as well as he did early in his career definitely helped for people being able to accept a transition from the FCS to the NFL. Now, this is what Wentz had to say. Quote, there are going to be a million things pulling you in one direction, then another direction. Pressure, expectations, all these things, Wentz said. But I know Trey, he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's young, age-wise, but he's very mature. I know he's going to be just fine. He's in a great situation. They have a great culture in San Francisco, a good coaching staff. So I know he's going to do a great job, and I'm excited for him. I just keep telling him to be himself. Don't let any of those things change who you are, change your values, change your perspective on football. Just go play. And that right there tells you a couple of things. And this video is as much about Carson Wentz as it is Trey Lance, because I wanted to be able to talk about both quarterbacks. I'm high on Carson Wentz. I always have been. I think Carson was in a toxic situation in Philadelphia. I've heard some things that come out of there. Jeffrey Lurie and their ownership, Howie Roseman. Look, they were browbeating Doug Peterson to death daily. He was having to meet with them daily. Is that a common occurrence in the NFL between a head coach, particularly a head coach that had won a Super Bowl? It absolutely is not. It is not normal. Usually once a week, sometimes not even that. Okay? Every other week maybe. There might be a small powwow. This was all the time, daily almost, okay? They were driving Doug Peterson crazy, and people don't realize, people think Doug Peterson was the one that wanted Carson Wentz out of Philadelphia. That wasn't a fact, okay? Doug Peterson was under a ton of pressure to perform, and it was coming back on him. And I think that carried over to Wentz. Wentz was feeling a lot of pressure. You know, people forget, in 2019, Carson Wentz had a really, really damn good season. He got hurt right as they got into the playoffs in the playoff game. Remember, Josh McCown come in. But so many players on that Eagles team on the offense was injured, and Carson Wentz still led them to the playoffs. And then last year, there was all kinds of drama, and we know Carson Wentz was out, Doug Peterson was out. Doug Peterson's going to end up being a head coach at some point again. You can believe that at some point. And there was even some flirtation between the Jets and Doug Peterson, I think. So, and whether you believe he should or not, that's not really the point of the video. But the point is, I wanted to be able to talk about both of these quarterbacks. I think Carson Wentz is, in my opinion, the front runner for comeback player of the year. I'm calling it now. When I did my QB ranks, let me tell you where I have Wentz. I had Carson Wentz number 18. Number 18 out of 32 starting quarterbacks. I had these ranked by tiers. Tier 5, Tier 4, and Tier 3. If you're listening on the podcast, I'm going to release the audio from the first 2 tiers. They're already on YouTube. Could jump into tier 2 or 3 is what I said with Wentz. Has tier 1 to tier 2 talent and body. You question his headspace. He needs a quarterback guru. He's got one, Frank Wright. He's going to excel under Wright. The Eagles blew it. May bounce back with Wright. It's a perfect pairing. He could take a massive leap. Yeah, he could take a massive leap. If at the end of the NFL season, if Carson Wentz has thrown 35 touchdowns and has thrown eight picks with a 66% completion percentage, it won't surprise me. It won't. I kind of expect it. And look, for as good as the Titans are, I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Colts now that Carson Wentz is there. Good coach, good quarterback. Watch out. Watch out for the Colts, okay? Now, Trey Lance, does he start this year for the Niners? One of my issues with Trey Lance, and look, if he had stayed in college, he might have been the number 1 overall draft pick after this upcoming college season because of what happened with COVID. If he would have performed well, he could have possibly been the number 1 overall pick next year, okay? That's possible, but he has played almost no football. No football recently. And it's a catch-22. I've heard out of the Bay Area, he's not ready. He's not ready. Okay, and there's real question marks as to whether or not they could get him ready. And then if they get him ready, he's not going to be better than Jimmy G. But the problem is, Trey Lance needs to play because of how much time he's missed. He only played 1 game. They did not have a season at North Dakota State because of the pandemic. So the Niners are in sort of a tough situation. It was also one of my issues with them having drafted Trey Lance. Never mind the fact that I thought Mac Jones, in all honesty, far as being able to walk straight out of college, straight to an NFL team, and get on the field and start, it was Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones. That was the 2 quarterbacks that could even Zach Wilson, even though I had him ranked 2nd on my QB board for the draft, and that's also long-term projection. I think Zach Wilson's ceiling is higher than Mac Jones, possibly. But you get the point. And plus, the Niners wouldn't have had to given up all that freaking draft capital. I think it was a terrible trade. I do. And that's nothing against Trey Lance. It's not. But they could have stayed at 12 and grabbed Mac Jones and had all that draft capital left. So, anyway, you get the point. And let it be known, I believe Kyle Shanahan, I don't care what he says. I think he was drafting Mac Jones, and I think Adam Peters and John Lynch in that personnel department talked him out of it. And I think he's done it before. I think John Lynch has talked Kyle Shanahan out of a quarterback before. I think he talked him into Jimmy G instead of waiting for Kirk Cousins. And I think Kyle Shanahan did it again. And I think there was also, and I'll make this eventually on Black and White Sports, but I do believe there was a political agenda, a social justice agenda at work with the 49ers and who they drafted. I absolutely believe it. Tell me what you think, Black and White Live fans. Carson Wentz, comeback player of the year. I think it's a real possibility. In fact, if I had to wager money on it, he would be who I would put money on. Will Trey Lance start this season outside of Jimmy G getting hurt? No, because I think the Niners are going to the playoffs with Jimmy G. Deep in the playoffs. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.